And transitioning. Alrighty. Oh, nope. One sec. Before I begin. Get my video working. Alright. Alright, welcome back to session 33, Renaissance of the Antiquities. Last time, you all had just finished off combating the dangers up at Uveth Islet, the sky island that seems to be home to the embassy of the dwarves in Opportunity. There you had discovered a much less ostentatious place than the dwarves present themselves as down on the ground itself. You discovered a mind-riddled and starved Nevromri Deep Fury who had been trapped outside the complex on the islet itself, on its exterior. You fought skyworms and collected them in the hopes of brewing and crafting potions that would allow you to gain access to a way into the lower chambers of the interior of the island, where you could get to the control center of this place, the place where likely the imposter, whoever they may be, was hiding. You did so successfully after a little bit of scare with Fizz and Lenenia flying off the island and tumbling down to the ground below. Luckily, due to Fizz's quick thinking, he was able to save Lenenia, only to get lost in the woods in the outskirts of Opportunity for over a day with her thereafter, trying to find their way back. In the meantime, the potions were crafted from the collected skyworm components, in addition to other things and components found on the islet itself. And you, climbing your way and jumping across stalactites like spiders, made your way to the under entrance and up into the control chamber itself, where you found a large chamber with a map and other scattered things, a bedroom that seemed to have been being occupied, as well as the control center itself, where you went into battle with at first what appeared to be Nevromri Deep Fury, but quickly the creature started transforming and sometimes changing places at the same time with others of your party, and a battle ensued. It was a hard-fought battle, and confusion was had throughout it, as it wasn't certain at any time who was friend or foe. However, in the end, you triumphed, but not before this creature, this doppelganger, as it turns out, something akin to what those of you who were here in the beginning of the adventure had first discovered in the mountain pass before arriving in Terran. It had landed a blow on Tawin, and the chaotic, supernatural effect that this creature has on reality around it warped and transformed Tawin into a squirrel. It is here we will pick up with our first little scene before we get into the downtime of events to come. Just after the battle has ended, Nevromri skitters his way up the central shaft and looks around and says, "Oh, well done, well done. You've done it. Congratulations."
Yeah. What's... What? Why is Tywin still a squirrel?
That is your friend? He is so cute.
I use my cantrip of speak with animals. Tywin?
You have nuts? Nuts? Yes, nuts. Very, very hurt, very hurt. Please help, help.
I pour one of my extracts over him of pure moderate, since I haven't been using that yet.
Ah, feels good. You are a nice big man creature. You have nuts?
Neth, could you give Tywin some nuts? There's something really wrong now.
Assume you're signing that.
Yeah.
All right, I walk over and I pull out a small handful of nuts and hold it out.
Clambers a couple in his hands and starts to just chitter away and eat at them.
I'm sure he'll be fine in a couple of hours.
Can't you fix him? Turn him back?
This looks like it was magic. I think. I don't think. But
that creature, we better tie him up.
Yeah. Tie him
Ask
up.
him how he did this.
Yeah. Because Tywin isn't Tywin anymore. He's an actual squirrel. And that's disconcerting.
Tasty nuts.
Does anybody have anything to catch him with? Maybe
Ooh,
he'll
very,
get back
very.
to normal in a couple of hours.
Oh, Mr. Squirrel, will you just stay on top of my shoulder for a while? I'll give you nuts every day if you follow me.
I will nuts. Yes, nuts. But need home too. Need to find nice tree.
How about a nice bed in a moving object? You should come with us.
Tree is bed.
We'll stop and give you sleep in tree if you come with us every night.
To find tree. Yes.
Okay.
Must find tree bed. And the speak with animals cuts out.
Yeah. I thought if it was just magic, he might still be able to communicate, but I think he's an actual squirrel now.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, I have not. I've read books of people transforming by their own volition into different animals, but I think this might be different.
You hear in the background of Romery, "Oh, he's wrecked the place. This is not good. Not good at all."
Leninia, do you know, or ask Leninia if she knows anything about this?
Okay. Leonia,
Yes.
would you know of a type of magic that might have forcibly turned people into creatures without minds?
1 minute. Roll 20, please.
$500 knowledge arcana checks.
I mean, such magic does exist, yes. There are, I'm sure, ways of doing it in permanent fashions and limited fashions.
Have you heard of anybody getting or to break a spell like that?
Not personally, no. But I imagine, well, it's already much quieter without him here.
Also much more dangerous.
That that creature might know. If he did it,
Yeah,
they might be able to undo it.
and he has other knowledge that we need to know. Fizz, can you give me your rope?
I rope. Yes. Rope.
You used it.
Yes. No. I used the hemp rope to calm down. I still have my silk rope on me. I mean, I have some fish netting. Would that work? I don't know how big.
Pretty sure with his claws he can just rip the fish netting.
Well, isn't he just gonna rip my silk ropes then?
It depends on how you tie it.
That creature? You're talking about the creature, not about the squirrel.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. I misunderstood. Okay, yes, here, take the silk rope.
Alright, then I start tying up the creature. Neverori, can you still pilot this contraption and get us off here?
Pilots? No. Get off? Maybe. Let me look. It's been a while. Come. And he motions you to follow him to the that side chamber where, when you enter, you can still see the flashing light of that large circular object that, now that you have time to really kind of take in the scene, as when you first stepped in, it was mid-battle already. There's, at the south side of this room, this probably 6 foot in diameter, it looks like a stone sphere that is hovering a good 6 inches off the ground on its bottom. On 4 of its sides, on the center more horizontally, as it spins somewhat slowly, you can see there are 4 violet crystals jutting out of potential indentations. And then on the top, there's one green crystal that is jutting out of the top. All of them are glowing, and as they're spinning around, it's creating that strobe-like effect with the violet crystals. On the other side of the room, you see these magical runic symbols scrawled across the ground in a circle, and they're all faintly glowing with energy, and there's little motes of light that drift off from them. A couple of candles and torches in the room dimly illuminate it all, and there's a table with a pile of what looks like coins and chips and other things among it. Nevromir looks around. This is the power, I believe. Yes. And he goes over and stands on the runic circles in the center of it. It was something like this. You see him close his eyes, and he begins to move his hands about, almost as if he's moving things in front of him that only he can see. And with certain movements and the way that he starts to twist his fingers, you can see some of these glowing motes of energy kind of concentrate around his fingers, almost as if he's forming things around them to manipulate. Yes, I believe. Oh, he twists his hand, and you feel the whole thing just shudder and shake. Nope, not that. We don't want to go down. This one, perhaps. He does a motion. creaks one of his eyes open. No, that didn't work. Yes, I think yes. He takes both hands and does something else in a different position, and then he just disappears.
Is the squirrel
Well.
following RJ right now, or?
After a few seconds, he reappears right on the circle. Yes, that is the way down. I have discovered it.
Where does it lead?
To the embassy.
Okay. Alright, let's go home.
He looks over at the table. All of this, glittery trash. You can take this. Thanks from Novomri.
Okay.
And the garbage in other room too. Garbage that is soiled by the touch of this nasty thing. I do not want it.
Okay, Neff, let's pick up everything he says.
All right, I'll help pick it up. Put it into a bag.
Okay. Yeah,
Hand it
you
to
go
RJ.
around and just shuffle it all into a bag for later determinations.
Do you want me to carry it for you?
Please.
Is there anything that they looks valuable that they obviously skipped over, or?
Not necessarily that they're skipping over, but in terms of value, you're seeing them shuffle in what looks to be a couple potions, perhaps. There's some sort of thin metal rod, a couple of scrawled up pieces of paper, a really nice scroll case, piles of money, and then handfuls of other kind of junk that's scattered in between it. There are two things that that are on the heavier side that you would need to decide if you wanted to take, which would be a box of firewood that you find and an entire rack of firewood that you find.
I'll
Wouldn't
leave
take
the
the
firewood.
Okay.
Well, what if it's magical?
Identify it, Fizz.
Whoa! I'll pick up one log, toss it towards RJ/Nathan, and say, "Hey, tree bed."
I don't think that's what the little squirrel wants.
Okay. And the squirrel's still following RJ or sitting on his shoulder. He hasn't scampered off because that's.
Well,
No,
I'm gonna give
he's
it
still-
nuts.
Kind of in the other room, just as you go back in, chittering at the the nuts. Additionally, there is the map that you find.
Oh, yeah, that's right, and a map.
Pretty map.
Oops, not that one. Well, I mean that.
I
That
like that map too.
you can have them
I'm
both.
okay.
All right.
And if you ever need to be shifted from the calendar to the big map, just let me know, as you now have a map you can effectively pull out and look at.
Yeah,
Excellent.
kind of reminds me of Elder Scrolls.
That map took over 20 hours to make, by the way.
A lot of work in it. It's a nice map.
It's a very nice map.
All right, so we grab all this stuff.
All
I
right.
got it in a bag, and I'll carry it for RJ.
Okay.
I am very.
There's the bound doppelganger in the other room, in addition to the squirrel as well that is still sitting.
Remember, I did a 22 handle animal check.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Gave it nuts.
I put out my hand to see if it'll climb up to my shoulder.
It at first just kind of sniffs it. Does a little nibble. Crawls up your arm. Starts to tug at your hair.
I'm okay with this. He is my parrot now.
Rock that.
Well, now he can actually go live in the mud.
Can somebody grab the monster?
What are we gonna do with it?
Jeanette? You have some place for that, don't you?
Can
Vivian?
the Vith deal with it, or to ask if Leninia, if the Vith have seen anything like this?
Lavinia, Niths wants to know if you've seen a monster like this before, and I was wondering if you had a place where we can store him to question later.
I have not seen a creature such as this before, but if we took it to Shaper Ogata, perhaps he might have a suitable location to keep it detained.
There's a lot of questions I want to ask it.
I'm sure he'll have his questions as well.
Alright.
Is the dwarf gonna come with us so you can fix his mind?
Yeah. Vomri, you should come with us to Opportunity to the embassy.
Sounds like a fun trip.
Alright. Then I can start helping you with your health concerns.
I am fine.
Of course you are. You're still willing to help me, right, Nith? At night?
Yes.
Good.
All right. So, you gather your things and your captive and the squirrel. And the Vromer says, "Come now, come all, huddle on the circle. Don't be afraid. A little hugging never hurt anyone." And you all cram onto it, and he shifts his hands in the way that he figured out before, and with a flash of energy, a small feeling of falling, and then suddenly you're standing in the that one chamber of the embassy that has the plump seats and the food, the table, if well, that doesn't have the food at the moment, but the table that had the food. You see the doors still open behind you. And you're able to make your way out and back into the City of Opportunity.
Let's go to the Shaper. I'm tired. So tired. I hope you're right, Fizz, and Tywin gets better. Well, in a couple hours.
As you guys are exiting, you see the what Fizz you know to be an illusion of some sort of the man that sits up, the dwarf that sits up front, and he goes, "Ah, I hope your meetings have concluded well. It was wonderful doing business with you all."
Yeah.
"Ah, master, are you going out?" Navarmi looks at him confused. "Who are you?" "Well, I am your steward, sir." Keep doing steward things, then." "Of course, sir. I will await your return."
He changes money to Astron.
"Ah, that sounds cool. Do your magic trick." "Sir, it is not a magic trick."
Is an exchange. not an actual magical turn into from one thing to another.
That doesn't sound as cool. If there are any services that you all need, I would be more than happy to provide them for you.
Do you have any information on magic tomes?
I'm sorry, I do not, sir.
You wouldn't happen to have a cage in your warehouse or wherever you keep things?
We have a vault, but no cages.
Well, might as well go to the Shaper.
And so, you all head your way across town, and the Martial Marches itself does not seem to have an entrance directly into the center of town, and you find yourselves having to go out and around to find another entry into the center. However, carrying a body of some monster through the streets draws a lot of wary suspicion, especially in the martial marches, and multiple groups of people begin to come up towards you as you make your way through. But Linenia simply flashes her papers and says, "This is Abita business, move along," and clears you all through and pretty much parades you all through town, having to do that a dozen or so times to various guard troops that you come across who all attempt to stop you for carrying some sort of thing through the town. And you find yourselves at the Tower of the Shaper.
Good.
So you step in, you see this, the receptionist there. Ah, wonderful. They're back. Welcome back, Arbiter. He looks at Linenia. She nods. We are here requesting immediate audience with Shaper Ogata. It is important business, as you might be able to see. She motions toward the body. All right. It is his tea time, and he won't be pleased, but I will get him. Wait here. A few minutes go by, and he comes back down. Go on. Up you go.
I look at Neth and I say, wasn't he a lot nicer when you were talking to you?
Sounds like he is aggro. Or he's
Are
muted.
you speaking in Elven or Common?
Hmm?
Or signing? What language?
I'm saying it in common.
Okay. Yeah, last time he treated Nithirian pretty nice.
Changed.
Sisters.
I was doing my duties, and of course, I would be respectful to one higher of my class. Welcome back. He nods to you, Nithian. Please, if there's anything I can attain for you, be sure to ask.
Must be pretty hard aggro.
Yeah, aggro.
Well, up you go then. You smell of blood and turmoil. You're sullying my entryway.
Right.
Leonardo's just kind of got a little bit of a smile on her face, apparently enjoying this interaction.
I just say in common, Fez, I think you're rubbing off on me a bit.
Is that so? It can only be a good thing.
No, it's not. Anyways, onward to the Shaper.
So you all make your way up the spiral outer staircase yet again, and onto the circular platform that when you step upon, Leonenia activates the runic sigil to make it shoot up at a tremendous speed, where you find yourselves yet again at the top of the tower, with the open vista around the rest of the town. And Dogata is sitting there in a chair, hitched back, looking out the window, or looking off his balcony with a tea platter and cup in hand. He'll just turn to look at you all as you enter. Welcome back. I didn't expect to see all of you so soon. Have you decided to... What in the hells are you carrying?
A monster. And I look at Linnea. You didn't go to the shipper when you fell off that floating island?
we thought it was pertinent to get to as quickly as possible. We did have to stop for some rope at the caravan.
Was it that far away?
Why, we were about a day's journey away.
Were you a day's journey away, Linnea?
Day and a half.
It felt like multiple days, to be honest. It was pretty rough out there.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I guess that island was farther than I thought it was. This is a monster who was posing as the embassy leader of the dwarves here.
Interesting.
Would you have a place where we can store him that stops him from transforming into other people?
Yes, we should have a suitable place to store such a creature. What is your intention with its life? Why not just kill it?
It's intelligent. So it has information we were, I was hoping to glean from it.
I see. Yes, just put him back on the circle there. Step off of it, all of you. Feel free, have some seats in the room. There's tea and, if you need more cups, well, he snaps his finger and you see 4 more cups drift off of a shelf and onto the platter around the teapot. Help yourself. For one moment.
Nice.
You see him do some magic, a message spell. We are going to be having a prisoner I will be sending down to the floor to you. Be sure to secure him behind arcane means.
Tell them that he has the ability to transform its shape to any person that I think it sees, because it changed from my visage to Nithirn's visage, and then it changed into Leania's visage. So be careful about that.
Behind our arcane barriers, it should not be able to extend any of its effects.
Okay.
Alright.
If there's anything for me, I'm here now.
We were just making fun of the person who was bootlicking you last time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Good for him.
And so you stick the doppelganger down on the circle, and you see Ogata look at Leonenia. Send him to the 3rd floor. Of course. As you see, she activates a sigil, and the platform descends down the tower at a rapid pace. And you see a normal-looking floor cover where the hole would be from the floor moving downward. Don't worry, that would be safe to step on.
That's good. I am tired of illusions. For a while.
Much of the world is illusory.
Maybe. Anyways, we have would we have some of your time to discuss what we found out?
Of course.
How long has it been
Since when?
Couple
since we
days.
left?
3 days.
Since-
About 2 days.
Yeah,
No,
it's been a
since we
couple days. What?
no, since we left the embassy right now has been an hour or so.
Oh, yeah, an hour or two.
Oh,
My
yeah.
first question, however, before your tale. Well, tell your tale first. Perhaps it will answer it.
Well, we were doing what I said that we would be doing last time we were talking. The day afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
I discussed about about how far I discussed with you about what happened in the middle of the lake. So, and was trying to convince him to take a meeting with the elves. That didn't turn out very well. We did find the real Navomari Deep Fury. It seems like he's been replaced for the last couple months.
And is that who this is? And he motions to Navarro, who's kind of been in the back of your pack.
Yeah, he's been addled by, I'm guessing, atmospheric poisoning and isolation, from my medical opinion. Well, so we were discussing that, then the the duplicate Novomori, the one who was taking his place, uh, tried to needle us into revealing more than what I revealed to you, which we found, well, which everyone here found odd. Fizz here kind of figured out something was really off, as well as yeah. And then we got transported up. Fizz, how far did you fall?
Oh, quite some time. It was probably 10 seconds or so of free. No, more than 10 seconds. 30 odd seconds of free falling, and then about 5 to 10 minutes of slow fall.
Okay. That's... How slow do you fall now?
Slow enough that I don't get hurt.
Well, let's
It was
say...
pretty high up there. I mean, I think we were almost above the clouds there. Quite a sight to see.
Quite a fall.
Yep. It's a good thing I had this cloak on. And it's about a day and a half away from opportunity. I'll mention whatever gate we entered from. South gate, northwest gate, or whatever.
And so he teleported us up there. That's where we met the real Navomori, who we've never actually met before, which is quite disconcerting. So we then we traveled down into the mechanics of the embassy from up there and fought the doppelganger, who told us that there is a group of them working that seems to is seeming to try to unbalance the world, would be the simplest way
I
to
am
explain it.
aware of their kind. They have attempted to infiltrate the Shapers from time to time, but, well, were a bit too exclusive. At least as far as I'm aware.
Oh, I thought you had a way to detect them.
There are means, but not direct. Code words usually work.
Oh,
That is, if you can veil your mind from their ability to read it.
yeah, that was one of their things that they did. It read our minds when we walked in and saw that we weren't divulging everything about what happened at the anchor point.
Yes, us Shapers are protected from such things, and he holds up his hand and twirls a finger around his ring that he's wearing.
Oh, that would be useful.
It would.
Anyways, so we, after learning that it had agents around, it's hit my friend here, this squirrel, which is a squirrel now, with its claws, and somehow he changed into a squirrel. The squirrel's quite strong.
Interesting.
I was wondering, would you have a way to change him back?
Let me
Or do you have access to a library I could peruse to see if I can research a way to bring him back?
show me this squirrel. Let me see if I can identify whatever magic was used.
Okay, I bring out my hand towards this squirrel gun, see if he jumps on it.
He just sits there.
No. I move over to the Shaper then.
The Shaper stands up out of his seat, and compared to you, RJ, he towers over you a good 6.5 feet tall.
He's no
Looks-
Nith.
No, Nith is by far taller, but looks down toward you, rubs his hands together, moves them around and casts some arcane words. You see his eyes glow a deep purple. That is strange. He does something else, and you see this faint glow surround Squirrel Taween for a moment that emanates from his hands, this soft red color. Interesting. Well, let me try this then. He casts another spell at Taween. There's this faint gray beam that surrounds him. Well, it is not magic. It cannot be dispelled, or that would have worked. And, I haven't a clue. But one moment. He walks over to a bookshelf that he has on one of the walls. Ponders looking at it for a moment. Fingers a couple volumes. Yes, this one. Flips the pages open. Reads a few lines. Snaps it shut, puts it back on the bookshelf. Yes. There in that tome, there is an accounting of things of history, rumors and such, from a particular bard from history. But it rumors that somewhere deep in the northern chaparrals, there was a tribe of wood elves, believe it or not, that this bard came across. He somehow managed to talk his way into their kind, not falling to their dirty ways or hostilities, where apparently he discovered some sort of tree, a tree that is not normal than others. The bard said that this tree is able to cleanse someone of anything that ailed them, that there was some sort of ritual the elves did there, and that he himself had traveled there to cure himself of a malady he had picked up in his travels. I don't know much more than that. The tale doesn't speak much of it, and I cannot verify its truth or if it still exists, but from all of my learning and reading and world experience, that might be a help to you.
It's more than we had going on for us. Okay, Halloween. Looks like we're going to the northern chaparrals. How far is that?
Hundreds of miles.
That's not so far.
Through the
Many
woods.
months through the wilderness with no road.
It's not so bad.
There's paths. That's how I made it to the road.
Not for a cart, though.
There's probably ways to get the cart through.
You get close.
Well, I'm not hauling RJ's alchemy gear through the woods.
I tend to just leave my alchemy gear in the
Cart.
cart when
Yeah.
we go on a voyage. Fizz,
Well,
we just won't. I just won't be able to create potions as well without my cauldron, but fine.
for many months.
Were there other matters you wish to discuss?
Yeah. Would you have a contact with the dwarves to set up a meeting that's not in this embassy?
My contact was supposedly this man here, and I am Shaper of Opportunity. Think of it, how might you know it? Akin to Lord or Mayor or King or something of that equivalence. I know of an embassy in Sia's Embrace, but I do not hold sway over that town and their dealings.
I thought you might have known of a dwarf that you could trust.
No. Trust between our kinds is tenuous at best.
We
We
could
have
trust
a-
Romery if he was in his right mind.
We have accords of peace between our peoples, but that is to not interfere with one another's business. It is not often that we interact with the dwarves at all.
All right. I will try to fix Navromri to see if he will send message to his kin. That might take
Good
a
luck
while.
with that.
Would you have a place where we can, I could stay with Navromri that's comfortable, so I can focus on that?
There are
There are
many
ma-
inns in town.
I'll sign. Was he able to read my sign language before?
No.
Okay, I'll sign to RJ. Ask again.
Or I'll say it like this, not that you're aware of.
Okay. What was his name again? What's this guy's name?
Menshak Ogata. Shaper Menshak Ogata.
Okay, so I sign that. Do you understand me?
Roll sense motive. He doesn't seem to have any sort of reaction toward you. He sits back down, begins to sip his tea.
I'll sign to RJ. Perhaps this is not the place after all. They haven't given trust to us yet.
All right, Nath. Then we can stay in the caravan for now.
Would you tell them this, though?
Hmm?
At some point, I would like to consider having conversations with
My friend here, at some point, would like to have a conversation with you.
It would be an honor. My door is open to her at any time.
Tell him he will need to find somebody who can understand me.
She says that you're going to need an interpreter.
Can she write?
I nod my head. We can do it that way.
So, is there anything else you needed of me?
Would you allow me access to one of your libraries to research as well?
Roll diplomacy. Perhaps not some of our more forbidden sections, but I could grant you access to some of our knowledge. What is it you seek?
A backup plan. In case
For your
the
friend.
intrigue. For my friend.
He motions his hand, and a quill and a pen floats over to him onto the table. He writes down a few things in Elvish. You see him sign it. He takes a ring on his other hand, and he presses it into some hot wax that he quickly melts in this small little bowl with a little bit of a flame at the end of his fingertip. Sticks it in, and seals right next to the signature. Go to the Tower of Knowledge. It is one of the other towers here in the center. I'm sure you can find it eventually. Present this to them. It will give you access to some of our knowledge.
Thank you. And would I need a writ to be able to practice my medicine in the town, or?
Medicine is not forbidden. Plus, you all carry identification papers now with a certain level of clearance, do you not?
Yes. I was just making sure. I know there are some places where you need permission to.
As long as you are not openly casting magic in the streets for all to see, causing fear and potentially unrest in the town, you are welcome to carry your magical items and practice your magic in personal spaces.
Okay. Less magic and more just medicine.
There's nothing wrong with a good doctor.
Is there anything else we need to discuss, Fizz? Yenya?
No, I will be writing up my report, and
I think that about sums it all up.
excellent. Well, should you need to come back and question your captive, just enter into the lower chamber, and you will be directed. I will send word that you are authorized to do so. You do not need my approval to do so. It is your captive. Though do be aware, the price for keeping him here will be that I too will have my questions for this creature in my own time.
No, that is all. That's good.
As long
And
as you don't kill him before we get to talk to him.
That shouldn't be necessary. But if that time comes where you decide that is necessary, I have no qualms with ending its life. They are vile corruptions of this realm.
It's a long drop from the top of the tower.
That would be unnecessarily gruesome. And
Really
unsettling to those below.
It's a lot of viscera Fizz to clean up.
Well, have a good time with whatever it is you all do then.
Okay.
Elder, whenever you wish to return, my doors are open to you.
I'll nod to him.
And then he'll look at Linenia. I will be receiving your report within a few days, and report to me on the 16th as well. She nods. And you all gather in the central circle, and Linenia activates the rune, and down you all go, back to the first floor, where you have your time and opportunity. Now, at this point, because that was really one of the major scenes that I felt needed to be addressed off the gate, I want to go about this in a week-by-week basis, just little pit stops for anything that they want to say that they're doing during that week, or if it's something you're just doing throughout the whole time, we don't have to keep recapping it. And then if there are any particular little scenes that we want to kind of zoom into and have throughout this, then so be it. Reginald, by your medical determination from earlier, it will be around 6 weeks or so until Navromri's mind is himself again. So it will be a stint of time.
Yeah.
If you wish to see it all the way through.
All the way through.
So, in that case, from the 9th of Celia all the way to the 17th of Celia, is there anything that anybody wishes to do during that time? Or anything that any of you are going to begin doing that you're going to consistently do throughout the 6 weeks? Obviously, aside from training and, the normal mundane stuff you guys do day to day anyway.
I will be setting up a stall near the one of the gates, probably one of the poorer areas, to help to provide medical assistance to anybody who wants it, and I will be charging minimal or zero, depending on who the client is, but I will take donations if they are willing to give me anything.
I will be training Towing Squirrel
Oh,
to
God.
stay with the caravan.
That's
So I will
actually
be
a
doing
really
some
good
time
idea.
spending time training it with using nuts and food and other techniques, just trying to teach it to be a good squirrel. to hang around the caravan.
Excellent.
So
Go ahead.
yeah. So
First week.
with respect to the squirrel, I think we should get a cage for him so he doesn't escape.
It's a good idea at first till he learns to stay.
Yeah. So I have some other shopping I need to do. So I'll go in. You know, didn't we pick up a bunch of platinum in the anchor? Did we divide that up or?
Yes, we did. You took your share, Fizz.
Huh.
Speaking of loot, before you guys get going any further,
So,
let me give you what you found in Uveth Temple or Uveth Islet.
So here's the thing. All the loot that we found at
Is
the
on
anchor
Halloween.
is on Tywin,
Yep.
which is polymorphed with the squirrel.
even like I thought we had like a box with a whole bunch of platinum in it that we left on the.
On the boat
Tywin-
that Tywin took when
Holy
the boat
crap.
was stolen.
Anything Tywin had is with him in squirrel form.
Oh.
So to let you know then, because he's the one that was holding all that money to get turned into shards. That was that was no, that's this.
That is an unfortunate side effect of this.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my new characters sheet. I will.
Yeah,
give you
and
how much
obviously
money.
you don't have the firewood in that list. And over the course of time, you guys are easily able to identify those magical things.
Okay.
You have plenty
I
of time. I'm
still-
not going to make that an issue.
Yeah. So who wants to do the math to divide the stuff? I would also say let's for now Fizz would like that Tywin still gets a equal share of any money that we've accumulated from that adventure in the sky.
So what you're saying is Fizz just gets his share, and everybody else gets. I get everybody else's share again.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Fizz would also
So-
like the wand to investigate the wand. That's the only other. I don't think there's really anything else I want.
So that was 1,000 gold pieces / whatever it is in shards, and 80 platinum. That is now inside of Polymorph
Yeah.
Squirrel.
Yep. Yep.
You guys always had him carry the currency.
Or more Nith, but you got the currency from the anchor.
I thought you guys stashed it on the cart. Like,
No,
You
he
took it
brought it in to get transferred into
change.
shards.
so he could get his new armor.
Yeah.
I was going to use that money to get my new armor. That's why we went there first, because Tywin didn't have enough money to buy the armor yet.
So yeah, the only thing really to split up is what we just got, plus whatever items anybody wants, of course. And Navarre, you got to remember there's the magical bag, magical boots, magical gloves too.
yeah, I've got like magic arrows and magical crossbow.
Yeah, you got the crossbow and the bolts.
Yeah.
And I don't know who got the chain shirt.
Oh, I did, but it was just like a +1 chain shirt.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you got all that stuff. But Navarre, there's still that magical bag, magical boots, magical gloves. You're on mute or something.
The bag, the boots, and the gloves, are those the only three things that you need identified?
I think that's the only three things I had written down that we didn't.
So that's those three.
Bag of
Here was
holding.
the other stuff, and then I'm pretty sure you got all the potions identified.
Yeah, we got all the potions. Yeah.
I call
But
it the bag of holding.
That's the rest of the stuff.
Oh, there's a bag of holding there. Bag of chestnuts.
Where do you see bag of holding?
The first thing
Bag of holding type 1.
in the last text section.
Oh, okay.
I can finally stuff with money with me. Keep the money with me now.
Oh, yeah. I think those were because there was like basically like a box for each of us. So I think you had taken that stuff already, hadn't you?
Yeah, he did. We just never identified it.
Yeah.
So again, from Nithian's part of, well, you can take it all. She's not going to ask for any of it.
All right. 35 divided by 4.
11 bottles of common wine. Excellent.
You get 8 violets.
But
So
you
you're talking to me?
Yeah, I'm just doing the math right now.
Yeah. Okay, 8 violets.
1 sec.
For my
Quick
purposes,
question.
are you? Yes.
Can I just change all the old coins into the new Astron crystals?
Yeah.
Over.
Over the course of the week, you could return to the embassy where that steward, whoever it is still able to perform the currency exchange. And then for my purposes, just let me know if you're splitting any of this at any of the NPCs, so I can put that on their stuff as well. If not, that's your guys' call, but just let me know.
Anything that's under salvageable, I say we just give to Drex.
Yeah.
The only two things
Like
you
that
don't have on
iron
that list
bar,
are
he can just have the
firewood.
iron.
Mm-hmm. Except the pan flute. The pan flute goes to Fizz.
I'm just gonna pawn the pan flute.
I still give it to you and see if you and ask you to play it if you can. One of these nights.
I'll play it for you when you hand it to me.
Roll a perform wind instrument check. So a flat perform, not your good one.
Need to like add another perform slot. Apparently I can only go to 6 at that point.
Or just figure out your modifier.
14.
A little spotty. I mean, you don't necessarily know wind instruments themselves, but not bad either. You know the understandings of music itself.
Yeah. So I play it for you a little bit, and then pawn it immediately that day. And if you ask me at night, I must have misplaced it.
Look at that. You've got one more BA.
And then
all right, you don't get 8 violets, you get 22 violets.
Okay.
While you guys are doing this, Nithian, do a handle animal check for that first week to train the squirrel.
All right. Handle. Bam. Nope, not so good the first week. But he's in a cage first week, so.
Yeah. You cage him, and but you don't have much luck that first week in training him to stay.
I talk to the squirrel, by the way, every morning to try to convince him to listen to Nithir more.
Okay. I'll modify the DC for her a little bit.
I'm also I have some like old currency on me. I'm just gonna like convert it to Astrons while we're down.
And I will have asked you to pick up a bunch of grains and nuts, enough for me for a period of time, and then some extra for the squirrel. Do all the math yet?
Nope, doing it right now.
When you get a chance, Reginald, make me a profession healer or whatever it is check you have to represent your time at your tent thing you set up.
I actually rolled a 4.
There is one guy you kind of scare, thinking that he might have the plague. Or it's just STD, but it's just STDs.
I scared him with the plague because STDs are worse.
Groovy died. I'll get that up in a second.
While he's doing the math, because I have the money for it right now.
Now, I will
Yeah.
mention there is a bag of currency that was Tywin's currency that is on the caravan.
Reginald, that
Okay.
first week you make 10 blues.
It's
You're
nowhere
done.
near to how much that.
Between donations and other things.
I don't think anybody would touch it.
I was
Tywin
just letting
stuff.
you guys know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna touch it. So while RJ is doing the math on the stuff, I think I have enough money on hand to buy this stuff. So I'm gonna buy 2 gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
So those are 2 gold a piece. So 2
Yep.
blues a piece. Okay, so that's been removed. How much are you going to charge me for a suitable cage for a squirrel?
4 orange.
4 orange. Is that the equivalent to silver, or
Yeah.
is that the? Okay. Do I need any tools for my wand crafting?
You need not necessarily tools, but depending on what you're making, you need crafting components effectively.
Yeah. Okay. I just wasn't. I didn't know if there was like the artisan tools. Like if I needed a set of artisan tools to.
No, the stuff you need, I assume, is considered in the price as part of the price of like the components and things that you need. Like, because depending on what you're making, it might be different, slightly different from craft to craft.
I'm going to sell. So there's 3 merchant interactions. Well, 2 merchant interactions and 1 party interaction that I don't know if you want RP. Picking up Tywin's armor.
Oh
Giving
yeah, that's
that
a scene.
staff and papers I found to Wizrun, and selling the necklaces that I picked up in the anchor from those dead bodies.
What staff are you talking about?
In the room with the statues, after we defeated the statues, we were looking around and it looked like there was some half-completed, like in progress magical items.
Oh right, yeah, you grabbed that.
Picked
Okay.
up a staff and papers that looked like it was. This seems to go with this because they're nearby each other. Because I can't read.
Yep. Yeah, so you give that to Wizrun, no problem. And then you said you sold the jewelry.
Yeah, so there's 3 necklaces, one of which has a little white Astron crystal in it.
It'd be
Which
it's one of the chips set into
like
it.
it's a little. I think of it as like a little tiny chipped, but like like cubic zirconiums. Like it's so small, it's not really. Yep. I don't know that it adds anything to the value.
Yep.
It's all done. You got 22 violets, 46 blues, 171 oranges, 2,106 reds.
Sorry, how many reds?
2,106.
Dude, rattle those numbers off one more time. I'm writing them down.
22 violets, 46 blues, 171 oranges, 2106
Got it.
for
And you can easily go to the, or when you get it exchanged, or if you go back to the embassy, you can get any of that converted up into the higher denomination. So there's not so many coins, because every 50 coins is 1 pound.
Cool. Most of this coin goes into the bag holding.
Fizz, selling those pieces of jewelry, you make 73 blues. And then,
and there's one other thing. If you're on the same week though, that I would do each week.
yes, what's that?
All right. Where is everybody stand, just generally speaking? Are they at
That
the
is a good
caravan? In rooms?
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go ahead. I'm still doing stuff on my.
I am staying with Navromery at the caravan.
Okay.
Leonenia stays in the center of town at a hotel. Wizard stays in the fishing quarter, in the hotel you guys originally stayed in, and Drix also stays in town at a hotel or a inn as well, as far as the NPCs.
And where does Fizz stay?
Fizz is gonna stay at a nearby tavern. However, he's going to leverage the knowledge that he's known about going into the inns and bars in the Vith section of town, disguised as a Vith, to do performances there and earn money there performing, rather than in the poorer districts.
On that, during your time, are you attempting to make money for this?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead and roll perform.
Perform loot, because I would play with my loot. 27.
So you make 13 blues over the course of this first week, performing in different bars and taverns. There are a number of Vith that give you some money, and they look pretty well off and generous. They seem to enjoy your playing. There's one night, however, where you see a sight that none of you have seen before. You see this copper-scaled Drakith, which is the humanoid dragonborn equivalent of my world, drinking wine at one of the Vith establishments, one of the nicer ones, and he tips you quite generously. That's where a few of those blues come from.
Okay, and the reason I was asking that is that one of the nights, and it doesn't have to be the same one, but any one of the nights, I would have accompanied or followed Fizz, or I think I figure out where he's going anyway, and gone with him while he performs, and stood close, but not like super close, but with my rope dart held out under my foot.
Yeah, on the night you... Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, you go.
No, finish.
And I was gonna say, and I'll explain it to you. I can feel the vibrations. It's not the same as when I get to experience your music in full, but it brings back thoughts. I hope you don't mind.
No. Don't mind at all.
Okay. That's what I do. And behind you, but out of the way, but I'm using like my foot and the rope dart in order to try to pick up the vibrations and feel it. Okay, go ahead.
RJ also goes, you're muted, friend.
You're on mute, Navarre.
I was just gonna say, Nithrian, when you go with Fizz to the Vith section, you get a lot of respectful looks and bows, and people come up to greet you and welcome you, and they even go so far. Some of them try to buy you drinks or bring you food. And if you decline, they respectfully back off. But that you just kind of, there's this sense of you are very well received in this part of town.
And I imagine Fizz gets good tips that night.
Yeah, that's probably where a good portion of that week's wages or earnings came from when you joined.
Yeah.
And then, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, after I treat Novromery and do my rounds in my little tent, I go to the library and start researching different magical things that might have happened to Taween and see if I could find any types of cures or anything like that. That might be helpful during the journey as well.
Okay. There it is. So since you're specifically looking, are you specifically looking like for magical effects and stuff of this nature? Or are you looking for basically which knowledge skill, whatever knowledge skills you're researching, that you're trying to apply, roll that knowledge skill.
Okay. For
And
the
then
first week, it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Go ahead. For the first week, it's gonna be my Arcana to see if there's any magic.
Yep, one knowledge each week, and then at the end of the 6 weeks, I'll go over what you learn in total. Okay, that's a good start.
And where is RJ staying?
Caravan with Novromery.
Yeah, and that's where I stay as well when I sleep. Or
Okay.
I need your help
my
at night.
trance. Yeah, that's what I meant when I do my thing with my trance.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my only other comment is that still, like, every morning I'm going back to the caravan to have writing lessons with Wizrune.
Yes.
And I joined you, by the way, in your common. The bard. I don't know if you noticed that on my sheet yet, but I added 2 points to linguistics,
Okay.
and one of them I haven't realized yet, but the common one I'm learning.
So, question for you, RJ. Do you post up a sign or anything? Do you have a name for your little venture that you're running in your tent? Out of curiosity.
I do have a sign outside saying doctor willing to help anyone in need while I'm here type thing.
Okay.
It's also to try to scramble up any information that's happening around opportunity right now too.
Yep. Okay, so as far as your guys' language learning goes, because this will be important over the course of a longer period of time, if it is a language you're learning to read or write through the use of your linguistics skill ranks, that's just as part of the narrative and the role play that you're learning that. But if you are trying to learn an additional language or learn how to read or write a language that you are not using through a linguistic skill, there's a couple of factors to it. It takes 20 days, so basically 2 weeks, 2 of the weeks, and you can only learn a maximum number of additional languages equal to 1 plus your intelligence modifier. Otherwise, so there's the stuff that you start with, because of your intelligence, the stuff that you gain through linguistics, and then your 1 plus int is all you can learn additionally on top of that as a character. With linguistics would be the way to break that cap. your leveling in ranks.
Yep. Yeah, I'm doing mine 100% linguistics.
Yep.
I
So
am
just
also
keep
doing it in biolinguistics.
I have
excellent. Just
enough
keep
intelligence, I can do it the other
Yep,
way.
so just keep that in mind that you can learn languages naturally without putting points in linguistics with 20 days of time with that 1+ int mod stuff. So, the only scene then this week that we'll touch on is, Fizz, you said you wanted to go pick up Taween's armor.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And you went in with him the first time when he met this guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you find your way back to that shop and you enter, and not much has changed with it. You see a few new pieces of armor on the walls, a few that are missing from the last time you were here a few months ago, and he comes in and he goes, "Hey, how you doing? It's been a long time. I remember your face."
Yeah, it has been quite some time. My friend Tyween, he had a with you.
Yeah, the armor he had me make. It's ready. It's freaking beautiful, if you say so myself.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's a little bit indisposed at the moment. I have come to collect the armor.
Yeah, you guys came in together. I remember you. You just gotta clear up the matter of the other half the payment, and we're all good.
I was under the impression that he had paid well in advance. How much does he owe?
No, he paid half up front, and that half kind of covered, the whole the material process and some of the the time requirements, so I could set aside like a month's worth of my life to make this thing. It's probably one of the best pieces I've ever made, honestly.
Yeah. Well, how much is outstanding on the bill?
It's only
it's coming
500.
back to me. I think
It's only 500 blues. I mean, that's a pretty good deal for something this quality. I mean, this material, it turned out to be way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be shitty to work with, some dead bug's body or something like that. But stuff is strong, man.
Okay, well, let's let me head back to where he's staying. He might have some money. I don't know that I can quite afford to drop 500 blues right here and now. So
that would be quite a shame. But hey,
Yeah.
I'll be open. I'll be around. Go get that money. We'll be fair and square, and we can get yourself that beautiful piece of armor.
Yeah. I'll make my way back to the caravan and just search through Tyween's things. If somebody's there and asks, I'll mention that that armor that Tyween ordered. We might as well pick it up now if we can. At least we'll have it when we get him back.
How much do you need?
Well, how much is in Tyween's sack?
Tywin wouldn't be mad if you used his money for this. There is, for actual money that you would actually care about, there's 281 blue and 5 purple.
God damn it.
Most of
That's
it.
why he had the other money, so that he could pay for it.
RJ asks again. How much do you need for Taween?
We need 500 blue.
How much is in this sack so far?
280 is what you said? 281
81
plus 5 purples. We need 50 purples. So if we convert that into blue or just purples, that's 28 plus 5. 33 blues or 33 purples.
We need.
Here's 22 purples from his share from up into the island.
So what does that get us to? That gets us to 55 purples.
Isn't that enough?
Yeah, that's enough. I'll take the 50 purples and make my way back to the armor.
All right. You get back to
Drix. I may need some help carrying this stuff. It looked a little heavy to me.
the money there.
No, the armor that Tywin had made for him.
Oh, I mean, can I wear it back?
Sure.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, let's go, buddy.
All right, so you took all of his blue and purple, right?
Except 5 purple. It sounds
Yeah.
like
All right, gotcha. So you took all the blue.
Yeah. Took
That's
all the
fine.
blue, all the purple that was in that sack, and then I guess if you haven't already added the list of numbers that RJ told me.
all the numbers with me anyways.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, okay.
I didn't keep track of that. That's with RJ.
Okay.
But now all he has now is silver and copper in that bag.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Make my way back to the armor smith. Open the
Yep.
door. Well, it's a
Welcome
good
back.
thing. Yeah. Here's the 50 purple that you need.
Excellent. Takes it, counts it out. Great. Puts the sack kind of in a box nearby. He goes over to this looks like an armor stand, but it's got a sheet over it. All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
He flips the thing down, and you see this gleaming plate mail, or not plate mail, but it looks like plated armor with leather bits sewn between, and in between you see some metal meshwork between the plates, so it's got this nice contrast between the brownish gray Ankeg plates, and then there's like these gleams of silver underneath from the metal itself in between the plates that kind of help bind it together with the leather backing to it. And it is well polished. It is reflecting the light of the fires within here beautifully. And he says, "Oh, all right, man, it's all yours."
Wow, you've really outdone yourself. And then
Thank you.
I'm gonna just rest my hand on the one of the shoulder plates or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and whisper, "Tywin, you'll get to wear this soon, hopefully."
So,
Hey, Drix.
all right, just for my inventory for Tywin, what is this considered?
This. It's not considered anything in the SRD. It is a custom suit of armor.
Excellent.
Wow,
Jesus Christ.
that is nice.
It is very similar
Holy
to
crap.
a well-stocked medium armor, but a little bit more protective, a lot lighter because most of it is Ankeg plate, which is lighter than metal itself, that would normally be used to construct such armors. It's mobile and maneuverable because the plates are lined with like a chainmail-like rings in between, allowing a lot of mobility. On climb and acrobatics checks made to jump, or climb checks and acrobatics jumps made to jump specifically, the armor check penalty does not apply to it, and it provides acid resistance 5 to the wearer, as the Ankeg's natural plating resists such damage.
That is nice.
That is nice.
And it
is considered masterwork. It is considered masterwork, and the bonuses that masterwork applies are already applied to that stat block.
Yep. All right. I will start playing around with that then.
Okay,
Right.
Drex, let's get you suited up and let's get back to the caravan.
All right. So you get the suit on to Drix for the most part. His bigger belly kind of makes it bulge out in a weird way. It's just a little tight, but you know, I feel well protected, and he's kind of hot. He's not an armor wearer, so you see him like hobbling around. He's slow, and well, this is pretty cool. You can punch me in the chest.
I didn't mean to roll that, by the way.
Yeah, I don't even know how you rolled scale mail. Like,
there's a button for it in my inventory. That's his old armor.
yeah. Okay, well, I obviously if there's resistance, I'm not gonna tie it super tight to bend anything, but obviously,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's on him well enough that okay, come on, let's go.
Yep. And you guys make it back to the caravan with the armor, and have acquired his Ankeg armor.
Nice.
I've been sitting on that for a while.
No, really?
I'm so sad I can't wear that.
I know, I know.
So nice.
Okay.
Anything else for the rest of that week? Okay. On the 18th, the next week begins. RJ medicine, Fizz, if you guys are continuing to perform and provide medicine for money, make those checks. RJ, do your arcana or whichever knowledge you're trying to research. Now, because you have access to a library, you can roll any knowledge check untrained right now.
Sweet.
All right.
You might not have as good of bonuses, but the resources give you the ability to roll any of them. And then Nithrian, roll your handle animal as well. Okay. This
he just
squirrel
does
is
not want to listen. He is a stubborn little fuzzy bastard.
Yep. He's a couple of the bars in the cage are slightly bent. All right. And for you guys making money related checks, it's your check cut in half, rounded down amount of blues each week. So I don't have to keep telling you. So that would be 11 for you.
I still get that even though I'm not charging anything.
Yeah, that's what you make in donations and people that just are thankful for being healed. And you probably see dozens of patients too, so it's probably little amounts that over time are adding up to that. But
Okay.
same for you, Fizz.
I would go with Fizz. If you're still doing the entertaining, I would go 2 times
Okay.
during whatever happens.
Yeah. One of the nights this week where Nithrian does not attend with me, I wrapped up my set a little early and make my way back to the caravan.
Uh-oh.
Indeed. What do you do at the caravan, Fizz?
Is there a window and or door that's open?
There are 4 different windows on the carriage and 2 doors.
Or do any
This is
Roll-
at night? This is at
roll-
night?
Roll a d6. Well, I guess first, because you guys are sleeping there, do you guys sleep with any of the doors or windows open? For
I'm
air or
outside.
anything like that?
I'm outside in front of the door.
Yeah, you're outside.
How
Right.
cold is that?
Fall has just begun, so the nights are a little chillier, but it's still end of summer. So the nights aren't really uncomfortable in terms of cold at all.
And I keep one of the windows open in the caravan when I sleep.
The one
Okay.
nearest your bed. Okay.
As I approach, seeing Niftyrin outside.
One thing to note, Fizz,
Yeah.
and for all of you really, did I not attach the image? One moment. Anyway, to describe it real quick, Drix has made a modification to the carriage. He has added a covered, domed top to the top, the open, what would have been the open top that Taween used to sit on, and underneath its veil, he has mounted a light ballista that points forward and can swivel to some degree left or right. And I'll be showing the image of that there.
So Tywin lost his spot with. Now there's a fucking.
There's still room up there to sit. He crafted it in such a way where you would have still been able to sit up there. You actually would have been like sitting right behind the ballista, ready to fire it whenever.
I think Tywin would have liked that.
He wouldn't know how to fucking shoot it, but he'll like it.
Everyone's head. RJ is sleeping in the bed, a bed made for a human size, so even though he's up there by the pillow, there's still like half the bed space beneath him. Where do you keep your pack, RJ, that this item is contained in?
Considering I now have a bag of holding in the bag of holding near me.
Okay. So the unseen servant, which is invisible to anyone and makes no sound. There's just your pack. The thing unclips. It opens up. It's rummaged around in a little. Fizz, the unseen servant, comes back with nothing. With the command that you gave it. And I imagine for you, Fizz, you still probably can see some sort of very faint aura of the unseen servant since it's your spell. But what you asked to do, it could not complete.
Well, I'll just dispel the unseen servant and then walk away.
Okay.
And when I'm around a corner, can release the invisibility.
Yep.
I was given a bag of holding. I put everything in bag of holding because it holds 250 pounds.
Yep. Yep. And the unseen servant, well, it could have grabbed it in a normal bag. It can't access the bag of holding.
Could have asked it to toss me the bag of holding, I suppose, but it's not what I was going for.
So you slink back off into town then?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, over the course of this next week, is there anything anyone does before I interject a couple things I have?
This is the third week, or still the second
Second.
week? Okay.
Yes, considering that I've been helping the Romer for a while, I know that he's doing better, so I have a bit more free time. I go to Drex and ask him, do you need anything for the cart that you need money for?
I mean, not in particular. All them random things y'all brought me. I was able to pawn some of that stuff off and make some money that way. And I've been doing pretty good on trading, sitting here in opportunity. I mean, if you want to throw any money at the cart and with any requests, I'll gladly go get what you need. Or if you just want to give me some money, I got more ideas for it. It's been a little project of mine, but nothing I need.
Perfect. Here are 10 violets.
Oh, all right. I will see what I can do.
Make it safer for us as well, if you can.
Safer. Okay, I will put some thought into that. Don't be worried then if I come back with a few people and we're working on it. I might need some carpenters and stuff, so might have to hire some skilled labor. And he starts rattling off things and thinking to himself, all right. And he wanders off as he starts chatting.
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
You have contacts in a lot of city. Do you know somebody who can read halfling?
Kinda. Yeah, I've met a few folk. Let's see. Well, most of my route I came through Cephals to Terran, through Balin, and then back in through Opportunity and some of them little farmland villages there and abouts in between. But back at Terran, they actually do some trading with the halflings. They're close to the woods there, and so the halflings, they trade with the elves deeper in the woods, and they bring stuff on out and kind of act as intermediaries to the people. And they'll come out and trade with the humans and such, and the humans will trade with them, and then that's a kind of nice and back and forth they got going on. So yeah, you might be able to find some halflings in Terran.
Do you know somebody in Opportunity that could help me translate something from Halfton?
Not that I know off the top of my head, but if I meet a halfling, or I can do some asking around for you.
Please.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. And that's what I do for that part, and then I do the normal things for the rest of
Yep.
the week.
One second.
Hey,
Yeah?
one of the nights I'm with Fizz, I'll do one thing.
Yes.
Okay. So again, does it help? Does he get good tips when I'm here?
Yeah.
Still. Okay. Did the whisper wrong? Okay. So I signed to Fizz. They all seem to enjoy your music so much.
Yes. Were you going to finish that sentence, or?
No, that was a complete sentence.
Okay. Thanks. I guess.
That's it.
I try to lift up people where I can.
That is a wonderful skill. That's it.
Are we moving into the third week, or?
I don't know. Navarre said he had something.
I'm just rolling the stuff.
You're on mute, Navarre.
Again.
We're not quite in the third week yet. Yeah. Nothing else from you guys this week?
Nope.
Okay. On the 24th, Tim, you may wish to return if you need to. Lenenia comes and gathers you all over the course of the day, and so, or comes to you throughout each of you throughout the day and says, at some point this evening, Shaper
Is Tim
Ogata.
around? Is Tim around?
I hope so.
I hear you. I'm in the kitchen.
Shaper Ogata would like to
I'm in
meet
the
with
kitchen.
you
I'll
all.
be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we should probably interrogate that thing that they're keeping for us.
I was hoping to see if I could get some information from the Romery before we started talking to the creature. Well, if that's what you want, Fizz, we can see what we can glean for now.
I don't know that Romery would know much. He kind of just think the beast got the jump on him.
You might know why the beast went after him. Or an inkling, at least.
So, do you all accept his invitation to meet?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Anyways.
Yep.
And just the three of you go with Lenenia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, who else was invited?
He just said you guys, your party. I wanted to make sure who I knew was coming along.
Okay.
So, you enter into...
I would like to add something are we all meeting at the caravan and go together?
Yeah. With
So
Lenenia.
as we make our way through the streets, I will play a little tune and say, make way for the Acorn Guard.
What now?
The Acorn Guard.
The Acorn
What is
Guard.
the?
I think
what's
it's
the
a
Acorn
fitting
Guard?
name, don't you?
That's what you're calling yourselves now.
That's what Fizz is calling us. Do you like it, Nith?
I don't know. Haven't thought about it. Acorns are nice, I guess.
Yes. Do we even need a name?
Well, why all famous adventurers need a name.
Look at Liania. Are we famous?
I wouldn't say famous, but
I've heard many tales, and few have involved sky palaces.
you are certainly known among certain groups of people.
Oh, this is embellishment by Fizz, isn't it?
Well, sounds nice if he likes it.
And 100% going forward while performing, I am telling tales. The
Excellent.
valiant Acorn Guard.
Tywee would actually be okay with this name.
I'm just. RJ's just quite flabbergasted by just the random name out of the blue.
So, you all reach the central tower of the Shaper and are make your way up to the top, where you see Ogata. He's on the couch this time, and you see that he's got a bowl of dinner that he is currently eating when you arrive. He says, glad that you could all join. Please sit down, make yourselves comfortable. And you see also across the table, sitting in a chair, for you, Fizz, a familiar-looking copper Drakith. Taween, or I guess Tim, would you like to describe what they are seeing?
Yeah, you would see a tall, lanky, a humanoid. He's got, his scales are of bright copper in color. No tinges of, so older, this Drakith is called, these Drakiths are called Ruskin. And as they age, they actually get, their scales start to turn green. Like how copper starts to dissolve as well. He has no green in his scales. He's still younger. He has two very distinguished horns coming from the back of his head in a straight format. His eyes of right now are a greenish blue. His garments are quite fancy. They're a little bit better than what you're used to a commoner's clothes. You can see, but under his regular clothes, you can see hints of chainmail, as he wears chainmail under, that's his armor. He has, right now, he has quite no hair, no tentacle hair. For some reason, some Dragonborn have like tentacle hair. I don't get it. But none of that, just scales and horns and whatnot. He would currently be just sitting in his chair with a glass of wine in his one hand, as he would have a great big smile on his face, looking at you all, knowing he has been told about you guys already.
Where do I recognize him from?
This was the Drakith that you saw attending the Vith bars frequently when you played.
Oh.
He's tipped you a number of times.
Yes, he's very much. He'll notice you right away, and give you quite the smile.
Well, oh, go ahead.
I see. I've heard a few tales of you. I see that the bard from the. I see the bard from the inns are here. Your music has been so lovely.
Well, I can tell that you are a gentleman of fine tastes, and of course you would enjoy my music.
'Tis the wondrous, it wasn't?
Yes, Frederick Erica's the Wondrous.
Wonderful. Let me introduce myself to you all. I've been told about you guys somewhat. I am Raoul Vint. God damn it, what was his last name?
Nova.
No, I forgot.
Nova.
Vintdova. I guess he'd already changed that. Yes, I am Raoul Vintdova. And, well, I will let the kind Shaper tell you why I'm here.
Nods. So, I have some bad news for you all, and some potentially interesting news for you all. Which would you like first?
The bad news. Mother always
Oh.
said, save the good news for last.
Fair enough. Well, the bad news is 3 days ago, on the 21st, the doppelganger got released from his binds while in his cell and killed himself.
Damn.
I
Probably.
did have some time to question him myself, but he was rather vague and evasive, and I really didn't get much out of him.
Are
Only
you
things
sure
that
he's-
can go on.
Are you sure he's dead and didn't merely change himself to appear dead?
Yes, the Arbiter on watch watched him slit his throat and turn to a pile of goo.
Ah, yes. That would require very powerful magic to...
The Arbiter feared to drop the magical barrier to the entrance of the cell for fear of being succumbed to its powers that you warned of. However,
Understandable.
in my questioning, Nith, he seems totally upfront, nothing strange here. However, I did question him a bit, and while he was evasive, he has confirmed, through what he didn't tell me, a few things I already thought were true. He is part of some sort of larger network of doppelganger like him. They are infiltrating various guilds and certain places within rulership across the realm. Their motives still are unclear, but he did boast that no matter what we did to him, that what I did to him, it wouldn't matter, and that he is but merely one piece amongst hundreds. So,
Go ahead.
there seems to be some sort of larger plot at play, but what that might be, I must admit, I am in the dark as well.
He explained that too before we knocked him out. I was hoping to
Boastful
figure out
creature.
something. Yeah. Yes. I was hoping to figure something out from Novromery if I could help fix him up a bit, and then use that knowledge to interrogate him. Damn.
A good idea, but perhaps you waited too long. From what it
Yes.
seemed of his abilities, it was only a matter of time before he escaped any bonds we put him in.
Can I have my rope back?
Sure. It is
Excellent.
covered in goo and partially dissolved, but by all means.
Oh, if it's partially dissolved, then just throw it out.
Understood. But that brings me to the interesting news. I decided to reach out to you all here, considering your already interesting involvements surrounding these anchors, Astron, and the things of these natures that Lenenia informs me, plus what you have said, that you have quite an interesting connection with. Plus, the arbiters under my command are not fitted for such a thing I have an idea for. That being said, as he introduced himself, this is Raul Vindova. He is a researcher and one in the arts of astrocraft, and a specialist in such a field. He has recently come to me seeking certain things, and I thought it might be interesting to help him out. I thought you all might be able to do that. So, my request of you all, and if compensation is such a worry, that can be handled in due time as well, but I would like for you all to travel to the town in the mountains of Eracrost. There has been rumor amongst us, from what we learned from Lenenia and yourselves, and some of our own research, that another anchor exists there. We would like for you to escort Raul, this specialist in such things, there safely, and aid in any amount of securing that might need to be done to discover it. Now, the town of Eracrost, if it could be called a town, is actually a prisoner labor camp that mines metals and astron from the soil and the rocks there. You do need to be careful, however, for while it is under Vith control and there are arbiters about, it is not under my purview. It is under the purview of Shaper Enosa Olovin, and I'll write that name down in a sec. And as such, it is outside my authority to allow any special things within that area. So, as a fair warning, should you do anything wrong or approach it incorrectly, being a prisoner labor camp, there is the potential that he will capture you and imprison you alongside the rest of his mates, as it is not a place for the public. Your identification papers might get you up to the gates, but they hold no sway once you are there, unless signed under the name of Enosa Olovin and his seal, which I do not have access to. So you'd have to speak with him and make some arrangement of your own to do such. Now, I will say that Olovin can be cruel, he is ruthless and harsh, and likes games. So
Excellent.
my hope that you would get his signature is slim. But if you would do this for us and for our researchers companion here, Raul, we would be much indebted to you, and we would be willing to pay a handsome sum for the securing of such an anchor. As far as my knowledge goes, Iosena Olovin, the Shaper, is not necessarily aware of its existence, and I have no idea how he may react to such information. For he is a Shaper, he does attend the council meetings and such, and as such, he likely knows the history and the idea of what they are, at least to some degree. Be aware, all Shapers are different, We all hold our own ideals and our own goals, and we all rule our particular areas with different ways and methods. There is not a common law between our people, per se, in those terms. We hold ourselves accountable to each other, and as such, nothing too uncouth happens. But I suppose that is my fair warning to you all. So, what do you say?
So long as you don't mind us detouring towards the northern chaparrals to try to fix our friend first, I don't see why not.
I will say that is in the opposite direction, and
Yeah.
Raoul's mission is of some import.
RJ, I'm afraid to say it, but I think Tyween is going to have to wait a little bit. I want him back as much as you do, but
That being
his
said,
anchors seem a little bit more pressing.
What is the urgency with Raoul? Help us understand that.
I will let him explain. That is his matter.
Was that translated?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay.
I always translate what you say.
Sorry, I
I
assumed.
know. I'm not assuming on purpose.
Yeah, I know. I'm just used to you it being translated.
Okay.
Now, from my search on my, like he said so kindly, he overemphasized a little bit though. I am a researcher when it comes to the Astron crystals. I know quite a bit about them. I've spent most of my life researching them. From my research notes and some helpful research that the Great Shaper here has allowed me to look at some of their books and whatnot of these anchors, I do believe that this anchor is the source of power that I have been putting my whole life's research towards. It is a great source of earth elemental energy that I would the amount of information that we would gain from something like this, from myself or the Vith that have been so kind to me, would be tremendous. Now, if it helps you, if you guys help me, it sounds like you guys have somewhere else you'd like to go, some friend I don't know who you're speaking of. I would gladly help you guys as well in anything that you guys need. This, like I said, has been my life's research, and I have plenty of life in me to help with such a simple task as that.
And the anchor point that you need to go to right now is, you want to go there first?
I would. Now, Navarre, where's this anchor point? Why?
In the mountains. RJ, you've been spending some time in the libraries here. Like, we know not exactly where this tribe in the northern chaparrals lives. They could very well be hiding amongst the trees.
Likely are.
It's taking a minute to load for me, by the way. And the northern, and it's not that far out of the way. We would have, if you guys were going to the northern chaperones, it'd be a little bit of a detour to the west. But once we find this, like I said, I want to just make sure it exists. After that, I will help you, and then we could go on our own ways. But I will not need any payment. Like he was saying, if he wants to pay you guys to help you guys out, I wouldn't worry about it. Just the idea of finally knowing where this is and being able to look at this great Astron power would be more than good enough for me.
Besides, RJ, this is the only anchor left before the one in the that's in the chaparrals. We could deal with this one and then deal with the other one on our way to restore Tywin. I know he was not necessarily a fan of going on the trail of rumination.
That's not what I'm worried about. Well, I'm worried about our friend, and I'm worried about the harpies.
The harpies were in the forest.
The harpies
Yes.
were in the mountain.
No,
The harpies were in the
Nope.
forest.
Nope. Well, okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I
The
remember that.
I mean,
No. So if that's the case, I would say I'm not worried about. I'm worried about our friend. I'm also worried about getting through the mountain. I'm not the best when it comes to surviving in the wild.
Trust me, when it comes to mountains, when it comes to that type of terrain, there's no better guide than myself. See, I have spent, when I was a young lad, I spent my whole life in the Kunda Highlands, which is just west of where we're off to anyways.
RJ,
I know the hills and the mountains of north of here like it's the back of my hand.
and if it's any
we could always have
consolation,
Drix get a proper amount of supplies. I'm somewhat familiar with the area, fortunately, but the trail that we would have to head on. But besides, I've heard stories of some squirrels that have lived to the ripe old age of 40, even 60.
Why are we talking about squirrels out of nowhere?
Well, you see, unfortunately, Tywin, the one that we mentioned that's not among us, has unfortunately been turned into a squirrel. Doesn't even have his own mind. I don't even know if money even to even pay for his restoration. Like, I've also heard stories, quite old stories. Perhaps you could look in the library for them. Maybe the Vith have them. Tales of bards undoing this sort of curse that I'm working on my reading. I might be able to, if you were to fetch me the books, find me the books now, and I'm sure by the time we depart, I'll have a hang of this reading thing that you're so fond of.
Ogata speaks up and he says, as far as your travels through the mountain pass, if you head to Holden Keep, and east of that through the outlying villages, you will find a labor trail that is used to transport the minerals and things collected from Eracrost back down into the rest of the country. It is not the greatest of paths, from what I hear, but it is traversable. And Fizz, you would know that this is a pass that leads up that way. You've never probably gone to it yourself, but what you have heard from passerbys is people that head that way never come back.
Yeah.
But he probably wouldn't share that part.
No.
And all you would ever, the only people that do come out of the mountains are arbiters carrying carriages and carts of goods, and they're heavily guarded.
Oh, okay.
Where they bring them to Holden Keep, and then from there it is further. The arbiters drop it off to other people. They go back, and then it's the lord at Holden Keep sends it other places.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we can negotiate this signing.
Well,
I don't think it'll be easy, but I think it's what we need to do right now. I agree with you, RJ. We do need to deal with Tyween at some point, but I mean, what do we have to go on at this point other than to wander aimlessly in the woods?
Dithian hasn't spoke yet. You notice she hasn't signed or said anything.
well, Fizz, I want to go to the Northern Chaparrals to get Taween. You want to go to the mountains? The person.
I'd rather not go to the mountains, but it seems
Sounds
the
like you want to go to the
prudent course of
mountains.
action to take.
So you want to go to the mountains?
I don't
the
want
only
to
one-
go to the mountains, but it
So-
seems the prudent action to take.
Yes.
If
you
I
wanna go
could
to the
spend the
mountains.
rest of my life never going back to those mountains and those fields, I would.
Mm-hmm. But you
Why
want to go to
so-
the mountains.
What
Well,
is so
besides
wrong
that-
with those mountains?
There's nothing there of value except perhaps this anchor that we've discovered.
But besides you want to go into the mountains, Myth is the one who is probably going to decide which way we go. She's the other person of our party. Myth, what is your take on this?
She looks up and pauses for a second. I'm not sure how to say this, so I'm just gonna say it. Don't know that I'm ready to go back towards Arn. My sensei, no doubt, is looking for me.
All
And
right.
even though I'm not hiding from him, or there's nothing negative there, I'm not ready. I need more.
Then
Towards where? Like the country to the north?
Arn is in the northern chapels.
Ah, I see.
all right. RJ looks really crestfallen. Then we go to the
Soon.
mountains.
Soon, but not yet.
Go to the mountains then.
The longer the journey, RJ, the greater the.
That makes no sense, Fizz.
It will in time.
His wisdom is. I always envision Fizz is like, you ever hear people that always do quotes, but they're always quotes lyrics from songs that they've heard, and that's their words of wisdom. I always envision his words of wisdom like lyrics of songs that he's heard somewhere along the line.
As for the rest of you, there is no particular timeline requirement on this ideal. So when you leave is irrelevant to me.
Well, I'm still treating the room, right? So it's gonna still be a while. And I'm
Oh,
just
Do as you will.
It means I
And-
don't have to leave this wonderful place with this wonderful wine yet. Ah,
we don't have to pay for his lodging now, do we?
I have my own money. Don't worry.
Okay.
Right. If that is all you require of me, then I have business to tend to elsewhere in the city, and I must be going.
Well, be careful, considering that those things can transform into anything.
Good luck.
And good day to you, sir.
And you all begin to gather on the circle, and he says, Arbiter, motioning at Lenenia, if you would stay behind. She nods, all right. She sends you guys all off as you guys fade from view.
I'll blow her a kiss as I fade from view.
She kind of gives you this shocked look, like, wait, really? And it is here that I would like to take a short little break, refresh, bathroom. I know we're close toward our end anyway, but there is mildly fresh pizza that I would like to go grab a few bites of. So,
Make a pizza sandwich. The best type of pizza.
That's right. Wolf it down.
Yeah.
Wolf it down.
we'll go on a short little break. I'll keep my headset on so I can chat with you guys, even though I'll be out there. back on into it. Let me mute this right here. So, you all leave. Ooh, transition. You all leave the Shaper's Tower with your new found traveling companion Raoul, the Drakith. Yeah. Anything else the rest of this week, or any more scenes for you, Raoul, since you're just being introduced to the party and things? How do you guys go about that at all, or do you just go back to your own tent or something, or your room?
I show Raoul the caravan
Okay.
where we always meet up anyways.
Ah, quite the traveling vehicle. Is that a
Yeah.
ballista on the top?
Our caravan driver is quite fond of this.
Quite
Vehicle.
ingenious.
I couldn't say it any better myself. This will be such a fun ride.
Yes. I'll head into the caravan. Kneel down to where the caged squirrel lies. Feed him some nuts. And whisper to him, "It's okay, Tyween. I know I'm your favorite person, and I'll make sure we'll get you back."
Roll a
Favorite
handle
human.
animal.
That's something I've trained in. 19.
It looks like for a moment it's going to bite your finger, but your words, for some reason, seem to soothe it. And it takes the nut from your hand, looks you square in the eyes, and just cracks it open between his paws.
Get your rest, Tyween.
I want to see an intimidate
We'll
check
get
on
you
that.
It doesn't break contact with you, starts to peel pieces of the shell away, flicking them to the sides of it, and just eats the
I'll
nut,
do that real quick.
never breaking eye contact.
Give me 1 sec.
Oh, it's charisma is garbage too, so but I know the difference. So
No, doesn't he retain his stats except for like
not his mental
strength and
stats.
dexterity?
Not his mental
Not
stats. He
mental.
had,
Oh, not his
It's
mental
just-
stats. That's right.
he had to save another one for that one piece.
Okay, you're not very
What is
intimidated by the
against
squirrel.
intimidate? Like,
It's like 10 plus your wisdom modifier or something, but that's actually like an 8 or something from the negatives of charisma.
oh, is it just like a will save then?
No. There is no save. It's a static DC based on your stats.
Well, my wisdom modifier is 0, so if it's just 10 plus 0, then he's intimidated me.
No, because it's not actually a 12. That's rolled with Tyween's actual charisma. The squirrel's charisma is way lower, so
Okay.
it's actually like an
I see.
8. So
It's still somewhat intimidating, actually, for you.
Yeah.
sure, play it how you want.
Makes. I'll just tap the top of the cage a little, pat the top of the cage a little bit, and then stroll out of the caravan.
So
walking a little quick.
Yes. Was there anything else this week?
The only thing Raoul would be he would be with the rest of his caravan. No, the rest of his group. He would try to force himself into whatever you guys are doing. But the only thing he would do outside of the group, besides going to taverns or whatever there is for that offers great drinks to it,
Mm-hmm.
he would also be at the same place that RJ has been getting his books to study, but he's looking at books on as Astro.
Astrocraft.
I will
Yeah.
roll a Astrocraft for you.
Yep. And here is a note worth mentioning real quick. In the character options tab under skills, there's a new skill called Astrocraft, which I'm showing to you all now. It is, well, its uses are all there. You can only do it if you're trained. It is in-faced. So on your level 5, if anybody wanted to put ranks into that, feel free to do that. And even if you've already kind of done your ranks. But this is a new skill option. As your group now has kind of gotten into the topic enough where it makes sense that people could start putting ranks into it. So yeah, have that a look over. But for Raul, that's definitely something he is good at.
Yes.
So on the 27th, well, not the 27th, no. But yes, so week 3, up to the 30th. Is there anything anybody wants to do? Everybody can roll their static money-making things if they want. And knowledges and stuff for the week.
Squirrel just isn't getting along with me.
I keep talking to the squirrels to try to.
Yeah,
help you.
I've not rolled good at all, but
Yeah,
it's okay.
I lowered the DC, but he's still not rolling high enough.
Gee.
Gee.
So this week, is Fizz going? Are you going to your thing every night, or what's your
Yeah,
schedule?
I'm still playing at bars every night, rotating between Vith and non-Vith establishments, wearing my hat of disguise, not wearing my hat of disguise.
Making
Right,
15 blues this week.
Yeah, telling fantastic tales of the Acorn Guard.
You would
So
see Raul. There's one tavern that you would go to that you see Raul always at. Singing in the back as he drinks his glass of wine.
And I will go with you 3 times this week,
Okay.
but I'll wait till the 3rd time to say something,
Okay.
which will be later in the week, Tor.
Okay.
I assume.
Raul would, of course, invite Nith to sit next to him as they enjoy the music.
She'll pull out the paper and write in very, very broken common.
Go ahead.
Do you read?
Yes, I can read common.
Any other language?
Draconic.
Okay. Only common for me.
But I am a man of knowledge. If you would like to work, I saw you doing some hand movements the other day. Is that how you speak?
Yes. I give lessons on it for those who want to learn it.
I would love to learn it. It would be my pleasure. It seems like we'll have a little hard communicating, so I would love to talk to all of you.
I will teach you.
Wonderful. I'll meet you first thing tomorrow.
But
Or
to
whenever you throw your classes.
enjoy music, I must stand close
Do what you
feel.
must.
to feel it. And then I go back over to Fizz and stand close to him.
Okay. So you guys have a lovely night. Fizz performs, telling tales of the Acorn Guard, which in the journal I have renamed your adventuring party to Acorn Guard.
I can't remember what I had. I'd come up with a name initially, hadn't I? And then
I don't know. Maybe.
You called it something. I can't remember.
it was like the Champions of Balin or something like that.
It's
Yeah.
probably gonna be changed again soon, anyways.
Yeah, if it changes, I'll change it again. But So, that night at the bar, Fizz, in the Vith establishment, you see Leonenia out in the crowd. And after you're set and you're done for the evening, she flags you down and comes up to you and says, Fizz, could we perhaps talk?
Sure.
All right. And she's got this semi-serious look on her face. She takes you off to some other table in a corner, sits down, and takes a couple big drinks of her drink of whatever she's drinking.
What is it that you wish to discuss?
Well, I'm being reassigned.
Is that so?
Yeah. I've known for a week or so now, but I couldn't. Every time I thought of coming and telling you, I talked myself out of it, and I don't have that time anymore. I leave in the morning.
Hmm. Well, we will certainly miss you. I will miss you.
I will miss you as well. And the others, I suppose. I know that you have to go and help this new dragon person, and that you'll be busy. But, and, well, I'm not really supposed to tell you this, but I'm being reassigned to Balin.
Ah.
And, well, I thought it's only a couple days away, and, well, I was wondering if you'd like to make the journey with me, and perhaps stay for a while before you leave. I don't know what we'd do, but it'd be nice to know somebody, and to spend a little bit more time before we are forced our separate ways. I'm sure that sounds stupid, but
No, it is. It is an interesting. Interesting. Um. Not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how happy the people of Balin would be to see my face.
oh, you have history there?
A little.
We could work to redeem you.
True.
I'm sure if they just got to know you a little, they'd see how wonderful of a person you are.
Yeah.
Your name's literally the Wondrous.
This is true.
You can see she's got like somewhat of a worried look in her eye.
Yeah. Well. You know.
It's only a 2-day journey, and there's a road, so it's not like we'd get lost this time.
True.
Plus, at least for the way there, we would be traveling with a troop of arbiters under my command.
Yes.
But once we're there, I just send them off on their duties, and I mean, I'll have work to do, but
How would I return to Opportunity, though? I couldn't make the journey on my own.
there's the roads, and perhaps we could hire something. I don't know.
There's not much to hire.
Maybe Drix will take us out, and he can return at a particular time for you. If you don't want, I understand if you don't want to. I'm not trying to. I just didn't know how to tell you this.
Yes. Well, I am very sad to see you go, but I think it would be best if I stayed with my companions. Who knows? They might decide to leave without me if I was to wander off. And who then would record their journey?
That is true.
But tonight, we should celebrate your restoration. I know it is sad, but celebrate we will.
All right.
And with that, I will enjoy many drinks with Ileana and whoever else is at the bar late into the...
Raul would, of course, join in this.
You can tell she's sad for a while, and when you first break that to her, you even see kind of the water welling up in her eyes for a minute, but she finds her composure, and especially when you go and have drinks with others, she resumes her cool exterior. Although there's many fleeting glances that you exchange throughout the night with her, Fizz. Little moments that are filled with happiness and sorrow at the same time. At the end of the night... oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to check something to see if I have it or not. Yeah, I don't have it, but I mean, I'll try and wake up or go to either the Vith or the Dwarf, see if they have any of these. Do I even have enough money for it? No. How much would we even be able to the like orange tokens that I had on my cloak? I don't have any left. So how much would it be to buy one of those?
Oh, more charges for your thing?
Just one.
Well, there's the feather tokens. They're all based off of feather tokens.
Yeah.
So you could likely find the feather tokens themselves in town. Those are generally not very expensive, and the Vith with their with your ability to access their magical goods.
Okay, yeah, it's a bird feather token. It's 300 gold. Do
Okay.
I have enough money? So I'll see her off. I do have enough money. So I'll spend 30 purple. Do that. I'll buy one, and in the morning, I'll meet her as she goes to leave, give her the token. Leanna, take this. If you're ever in need, send us a message, or send me a message, and we'll come as soon as we can.
Okay. I will. And with her parting goodbyes, she will go for a kiss.
I'll kiss her back.
Be safe, Fizz.
You as well, Leanna.
We'll
May
see
our
each other
paths
again.
cross again.
Yes. You see her bolster herself, and she turns and walks back off, and you can see she's got a troop of a few arbiters up ahead, and she doesn't look back, and she goes off into the distance with them.
Yeah, I was definitely gonna go to Balin with her when there's that girl that I gave that ring to and had dinner with her grandma.
I wondered
That
how you were
would've
gonna
been
get out of
fun.
that one.
Yeah, he has that cat that changes how he looks.
That's right. He'd have to be somebody. He'd have to be somebody else.
That's true. Well, there goes the money that I was saving to buy something else. That's okay. I don't think I could have made enough money to buy a
So
belt.
that's
She
the
didn't say goodbye to
morning.
Anybody else?
Nope, she didn't. She on the morning of the 31st is when that happens. Nithrin, which day in this week did you want to go?
Just say it's the next day that he
Okay.
goes out, like a day out or something.
Playing a
Okay.
little sadder songs.
Yeah. So
Yep.
Little
same
melancholy.
if at night. I'm.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
You're doing your song. You're doing yours on the 32nd. Go ahead.
No, that's it. I was just gonna say that the tune is a little bit more melancholy. I can't say the word. A little
Melancholic.
sad. Yeah. Kind of pensive and reflective.
Yep.
Still, pretty good. Pretty good song.
Oh yeah, always. So Nithyarn, during the night, perhaps when you're taking one of your breaks, she goes, "May I talk to you?"
Sure. What do you wish to speak about? I'll flop down in the seat beside her.
Since the last time that I requested to share dreams, you asked me not to, and I didn't, and I will respect it. I don't want to invade your personal time or your sleep if you don't wish me to. But I am going to make a request. I just want to know if you will consider it. Your music opens up things in me that memories that I don't seem to be able to get to any other way. With the dwarves, he showed me something, and it made me remember something about dwarves. And I know there's something more there, because in my dreams I'm different. Not just because I can hear and speak, but there's something I learn about myself. I would ask you if we could share dreams, and my only request would be for you to play your music. Nothing else. Would you consider it?
Today has.
Perhaps not today.
Yes.
I understand by your music how you feel.
Today has been a sad day for me. Let us on Lee Day. I will play for you.
That's okay.
So the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I will keep my word. I will ask you. I will not ever enter without asking first. It's the way I should say it.
Okay.
That's it. She thanks you very much.
With the rest of the week, which of the days, Nithyan? Oh, you said next week you intend to go, or was it this week?
I
No,
said
that's-
this week, but I'm
yeah.
not going to.
Okay. Understood. In that case, the rest of this week will close, and we'll come to the 4th week out of 6, and that is where we'll pick it up next time. On a little bit of a somber note.
Lost his girlfriend. We know where she's at, though. We can always go find her.
Don't know if she's the locals stalked her. I don't know that I want to find her.
For those in stream, thanks for coming along, and tomorrow morning will be Curse of Pirates?
Pirates?
What is it
Pirates.
tomorrow? Pirates!
Pirates.
Is it pirates?
It's a Pirates Day, but
Pretty sure Ryan had
The Curse of the Pirates, yes.
Curse of the
Excellent.
Pirates. All right.
Curse of the Pirates tomorrow morning. See you then.